point in my life now where I'm no longer comfortable unless I'm sitting outside of the zone. What's the worst that can happen to you if you do something that you've never done before? You learn something new, and you grow as a person. When I was in high school, I was involved in my neighborhood scout troop, where I got a chance to go camping in the great outdoors, both locally and nationally. So I found out early on that if I was going to explore uncharted territory with my heavy backpack, I was going to have to leave behind the comfort zone that I enjoyed at home, because there was no room for it. And this brings me to one of the traditions that we had in my troop when we would go camping. And that was the tradition of helping rookie or inexperienced campers to get over any fear that they may have had in the dark. And the reason for it is simple. Being afraid of the dark out there could hinder your ability to hang tight to any event that you got separated from the troop at nighttime. Because it could be that the troop is not able to find you that night, and you're not able to find the troop. It could be that it takes until the next morning when the sun comes up and everyone can see what direction they should be headed in before any progress is made in you being found. And so we set up a controlled environment to face this fear before we were forced to face this fear. And the way it would work was we'd all stand in the line, and one by one, a more experienced scout would escort each of us out into the woods at night, leave us there alone for a set amount of time, and then come back to get us after that time was up. And of course, I remember my first time camping, and I was poised to go out there in those woods. And I'm standing in line, doing what anyone would do who's about to face a challenge. And I'm trying to give myself a mental confidence boost. And so over and over, I'm saying to myself, hey, I got this, I got this. If he can do it, I can do it. I get to the front of the line, they say, Rowden, you're up. I step up to the plate, stare out into those dark woods one good time, hunched over. My stomach got queasy, confidence fell by the wayside. I didn't want anything to do with those woods at that point. In hindsight, I think I'd rather give my icebreaker at halftime of the Chicago Bears game with them down 30 than to relive that moment of adolescent fear. But anyway, through sheer determination, I went out there to meet my ordeal. Me and the senior leader, we jogged out to a spot in the woods. He pointed his flashlight in the dirt and said, "We're here. I'll be back. See ya." That was his way of being encouraging. And I stood there as I watched his flashlight disappear into a sea of darkness. And my knees are shaking, tears rolling down my face, totally overcome with fear. But after a few minutes, that fear started to go away. And my sense of hearing, my sense of smell sharpened. Instincts were coming alive inside of me. And at that moment, even though I couldn't see a thing in front of me, I felt as though I had complete awareness of my surroundings. Now, the goal of that lesson was to help us to overcome any fear of the dark that we may have had out there. But I took that lesson and I applied it to surviving in the real world of adulthood. And that lesson is this. Sometimes in this world we live in, where we're constantly being flooded by distractions and going toe-to-toe with our own fears, it's hard to see where we should be going. It's hard to see what we should be doing at any given time. We've all been there. But sometimes we have to let our gut instinct navigate us and give us a sense of comfort when it's hard to see the road ahead. Learning to rely on my internal advisor, called instinct, has served me well over the years. From turning disdain for travel into a passion, to learning a new skill set, to going out of my way to meet someone new, to to becoming a member of Toastmasters. Whenever I'm in a situation that is new or uncomfortable for me, I let my instincts be my guide. Putting myself in these situations forces me to constantly stretch my consciousness. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm pretty comfortable. Mr. Toastmaster.